What's up, guys? This is Showtime's Fighting Form, and obviously I am Showtime. Thank you guys for watching. Please make sure you subscribe, make sure you like, comment, tell me what you think. Now today, we are recapping I said 259, UFC 259. All right, I'm already going to call it card of the year because I doubt we're going to get 3 title fights with 4 champions this year again. So it's built to be card of the year. The card was great. I was fantastic. I was impressed. The main card, I wouldn't say fully lived up to, the bill, especially, Thiago Santos and Racket. It wasn't as fun of a fight as we expected. But it was still a very solid card. It was a great card. I enjoyed it. Dominic Cruz got the dub. So, Dominic wins. I'm happy with the card no matter what. But let's go to the main topics, which is obviously the main event and the championship fights. Now let's go with the first one. Now, not to say that I guess this was going to happen, but, with the man Nunes versus Megan Anderson, I'm pretty sure, replay, about gun in their head, who am I think going to win? Obviously, I said Megan was going to get her ass whooped. Mind you, I got blocked by Megan Anderson. Can y'all believe that, yo? I got blocked. And I'm actually a fan. I don't remember saying anything like mean towards her that day or the day before, but I remember one day recently I tried to search her and I was like, dang, I'm blocked. That's the first. Okay, cool, whatever. It is what it is. But let me just go ahead and go in real quick, about her. I tried to give her a chance. Actually, in the previous video I had, I said she has a chance. And honestly, you don't know if you're going to get a more focused Amanda or distracted Amanda. I also mentioned Megan is the bigger fighter and she's very aggressive. She has a chance. I didn't sleep on her. But good Lord, I'm telling you, as soon as this video came, I knew the fight was over. I knew it was over. There was no way she was going to win. She was walking like a ghost. I ain't never in my life seen somebody so scared walking into the daggone arena. I was like, yeah, bro. I know she pale, but I ain't never seen her look this pale. Then, the focused stare of like, bro, I'm about to get my ass whooped right now. Like, what did I sign up for? She about to beat the hell out of me. I don't want to do this. That's all I was seeing every time she was walking. So I was like, yeah, this fight, it's over already. Then the fight happened. I don't know how many, did Megan throw a punch? Did she threaten Amanda whatsoever? I think she just stuffed the takedown. I know she didn't land a punch. I don't even think she threw a punch. But it was a disgrace, honestly. It felt like they fed her to the they fed it to the wolves. And people was always talking about, we really let her get her ass. But we on my Uncle Phil, we didn't do anything. That was her. She asked for that fight. She wanted that fight. We told her it was gonna happen. Everybody was in there, you're not ready. You're not ready. But she was trying to tell herself she was ready. So, hey, go big or go home. And she home now. She definitely home. But yeah, so now it's like, what is next for both fighters? Apparently Megan is no longer in her contract with UFC, so it's more than likely, I think she's probably going to end up going to Bellator, which I think is a great move for her. I think if they do eventually get rid of the 145-pound division, which they will, yeah, I think that might as well stay with Bellator. Go with Bellator, try to fight Cyborg eventually. Like, I don't think you're ready for that either, but keep working. Maybe you will be eventually. Then, it's what's next for Amanda, because that's the most important person. The pound for pound best woman in the world, the greatest female ever. What is next for her? It's not too many left. To be realistic, she done cleaned out 145. 135 is pretty much cleaned out. But you have that one person, that's Juliana Pena, who for some odd reason thinks that the greatest fighter of all time is ducking her. I don't know why. I don't get it. Her logic is apparently Kat Zingano, which makes no sense because Kat Zingano is no longer in the UFC. And Kat Zingano couldn't even get a title shot to fight Amanda Nunes again. And not to mention that happened like 8 years ago. Who cares? Amanda Nunes is a whole nother beast. But she wants that fight. She has the audacity to talk about, Megan. Talk about how did Megan get a fight? She's 2-2. Yeah, Mrs. 2-2. Had the audacity to call her Mrs. 2-2. Well, guess what, Juliana Pena? You 2-2. Your last 4 fights. And guess what? I've seen the way your track record has been going with your 2-2. All right, you lost, you won. You lost, you won. You won your last fight. So guess what that means? You're going to get your ass whooped on this fight. You're going to be 2-3. That's why I already did the math. It's going to happen. We all know it's going to happen. But that is the fight to make. I will admit. There is nobody. I don't want to see Holly Holm fight again. I don't really care who else is in the 135-pound division right now. Nobody in reality, nobody's gonna beat her. That's just it. Nobody's beating her. But he ain't got a big mouth. Let her be the one to get served next, and then she probably gonna block me too. Yeah, that's the way the world's going right now. Who cares? But let's go to the other fights. All right, next fight: Aljo versus Peter. I know different ways to say it, but I'm calling him Peter. Jan, you can sue me. But Peter and Aljo, it was a very interesting fight, and I think a lot of people are misreading how the fight went. Like, yes, Jan was winning the fight, and the way the fight was going, he was easily going to win and retain his title. But let's cut the brakes, man. Aljo had a lot of good spots in that fight. I do believe in a rematch because more than likely there will be a rematch. I do believe Aljo has a very, very good chance of winning. With the formula he had, he just has to dial it back a little bit. Homie was a little too aggressive. A little too aggressive. All right. I mean, he was forcing shots, which is obviously going to make you tired. And anybody that wrestles knows you keep failing on takedowns, you're going to wear yourself out. Not to mention the pace was a little too high. The output was ridiculous, and no way he was gonna, sustain that for 5 rounds. And I think, hopefully, I'm not gonna say I think, hopefully, him and his corner realizes that, and they dial it back and realize we can be aggressive, we can't put pressure on him, but we have to save our own lungs for 5 rounds because he's never been in a full 5-round fight before. So this is an important lesson I think that he can and hopefully he will learn. Unfortunately, though, the fight did not play out the way we expected because of an illegal knee. People want to sit here and say, like, all these excuses for Peter, but there's no excuse. Aljo was on the ground for at least 4 seconds, and the referee literally said, he's down. And what did Peter do? Knee him. People say, oh, well, he don't speak English. Bruh, if this dude does not know the rules, that's his fault. That's nobody else's fault. That's the equivalent of Donovan McNabb, an NFL quarterback, saying, I didn't know there was ties. I didn't know double overtime. There was no double overtime in regular season. That's your fault. You're a professional, bro. Like that's your fault. So yeah, and not to mention, like I said, he was on the ground for seconds, and he still threw the knee. And not to mention the round before that, Aljo was on his knees again. He didn't throw no knee. Why? Because he knew he wasn't supposed to throw no knee. So there's no excuse, man. And then the next question is, did Aljo milk it? Did Aljo deserve the belt? Did he deserve to be DQ'd and all this other stuff? I'm gonna keep it 100. Aljo definitely faked that damn knee. Like, he deserved an Academy Award. Now, I'm not saying he wasn't hurt. Was he hurt? 1,000%. Was he hurt enough to not fight? I also believe that is factual. But this dude couldn't even walk. This dude was out here just falling all over the place. I was like, all right, man. We know you hurt, but you ain't gotta do all that. He couldn't even walk, but then next thing you know, he giving a full interview. Like, come on. That was funny. But it was an intentional knee. He was hurt. You get kneed in the face and see how you feel. You won't be hurt too. You're not going to want to fight. So, and then not to mention, you're the same people. The people who cry and complain and defend Peter are the same people who was talking all this ish about Greg Hardy, who was literally only fighting for 2 years and who didn't know the rules because he hasn't been fighting long enough and had no experience. But y'all want to chastise him and come for his life because you don't like him personally. But when it comes to Peter, who's been fighting for years, and who knows the rules, is going to sit here and say, oh, well, he didn't know. He didn't intentionally do it. Okay. You're just being biased, bro. Sorry to hit you with the facts, but it's intentional. He deserved to be DQ'd. He needs that L. And does he deserve a rematch? I don't think he deserves it, but he should get a rematch. Anybody do anything illegal, you don't deserve shit. And that's the same thing for TJ Dillashaw. You don't deserve nothing, but you should get a number 1 title fight. And Peter Yan, you should get your championship fight back. So now let's go ahead and we're going to end it with the main event. And by the way, that fight was actually really fun. That's probably, in my opinion, the best fight of the main card. Because obviously the Nunes fight was obliteration. The main event, I will say, was very surprising to me. I thought Izzy was going to come in and I thought he was going to dominate. He didn't at all. At no point did he dominate that fight. Did he land good shots? Absolutely. But I can tell you, Jean came in and he was ready. Like weight wasn't an issue until the 4th or 5th round. So there's no excuse for Izzy as far as weight, because the first 3 rounds was completely stand up. That's your realm. That's where I expected you to take over. You didn't. Jean blocked a lot of damaging blows. and he also landed some nice blows. I don't believe those scorecards were correct. I think those scorecards were terrible. I believe it was 2-2 going into the final round, and that final round was no way in hell a 10-8. John didn't do anything. So for real, of substance to get a 10-8 round. But I do believe, obviously, John dominated that round. And I think he won easily. It was a 3-2 going to John. But man, I mean, I don't know. It seems like taking the laxer approach, which is don't be so aggressive when it comes to Izzy, is actually a very solid way of keeping it close with Izzy. Same thing with Yo. Yo was a close fight. A lot of people don't really remember. They think it was just an easy dub, but it was a close fight. Yo just didn't do enough. Jean did enough. And not to mention, he added his wrestling to just make it standpoint clear. I'm better. I'm winning this fight. And Jean was getting tired in that fight, which was the surprising part, that he was able to take Izzy down, which made me think Izzy was even more tired, because Izzy has good takedown defense. But John was able to take him down pretty easily, especially that 5th round. And now he was trying to do that ninja, all playful stuff. But I was like, oh, he just pretending to be tired. Until he got taken down with like 0 resistance. I was like, oh, no, he's actually tired. He's done. And he couldn't get up. He was trying, but that weight, that's where it played a factor. Wore him out. But, I mean, it's like, what's next? John, obviously, you got to fight Glover Teixeira. You got 2 old men fighting now, 2 people above 38. That's going to be a fun fight. Very fun fight. It's going to be interesting to see who wins. John is on a tear now. He's like the new age Robbie Lawler. He was 2-4, and next thing you know, he's beating everybody. And it doesn't matter if Izzy is a middleweight. That's an impressive dub. And what's next for Izzy? Izzy's a lot more interesting as far as what's next, because we already know what's happening with John. Izzy's going to obviously stay in 185. He should stay at 185. Unless he naturally gets bigger, which I don't think so, because he's 31. Like, I mean, what are you going to do? Put muscle on? I don't really think with his fighting style he needs to put muscle on. I think he should just stay at 185. It was a failed attempt, and work. And honestly, just continue to clean out the division. Fight Till. Not now, because I don't think he deserves it, but fight Robert Whitaker again. Fight Till, Brunson, whoever else is coming up through the 185 ways. And, and I'm sorry, also the Italian guy. Fight him as well. And then clear out the division. See what's next. But please don't go to 205. And now it's deaded. No more John Jones versus Izzy, because that's going to be a massacre. John Jones would obliterate him. No one wants to see it. Tell me, guys, what you think with the UFC 259 fights. Tell me did you expect this to happen? What's next for Amanda? What's next for Peter? What's next for Aljo? And do you really think Aljo was faking, or you think I'm just being a little insensitive about it? But tell me in the comments. Thank you guys for listening and tuning in. Please make sure you're subscribed.